Aloha paddle community, what's up everyone? Just thought I would share a few little tips and techniques on how to get out through the surf on your race board. I feel like for a lot of people, taking the race board out into the surf is really intimidating, and it can definitely be a little tricky at first, definitely really sketchy if you don't know what you're doing, really dangerous to yourself and others. So definitely make sure when you're practicing these tips that you try to isolate yourself, find a nice little empty break or spot down the beach away from a crowd where you can go out and practice in some small waves at first. Ideally nice mellow little crumbler waves, not really too powerful or crashing onto shore or with any steepness. So here are some tips and words of advice for taking your race board out into the surf. Put a few clips together that I thought kind of showcase some of the major things you want to look at when in the surf. So first clip is gonna show just the ideal way to line up with your wave. You really want to make sure you go nose first into your wave, just like you would in a boat, kayak, or canoe. But on the race board, you really got to be precise with that. You can't be off. A few degrees off to the left or the right is going to result in that wave pushing on the side of your nose and kind of sweeping the board out to the side. Usually your board goes one way, you fall the other way. So you really got to be precise with positioning your nose directly or straight into that wave. On top of that, you want to set yourself up so that as you're going through the wave, you're going through with your paddle on your strong side. For me, that is going to be my right side, because when I'm going up and over the wave, as you'll see in the next clip, I will be in a staggered surf stance. So you want to put the paddle on your toe side when you're in that surf stance so that you're in the most powerful and balanced position possible for going up and over that wave. So step one, nose first, paddle on your strong side as you're approaching the wave. Try to time it so that you've given yourself enough time to approach that wave nose first, and also adjust to having your paddle on your toe side. Similar to a buoy turn, you're going to need to then time out the footwork to step back on the board, to lift that nose up, and then bring it back forward to push that nose down as you climb over the wave. So that's what we're going to see in this clip right here. In the surf zone now, waves coming, I just stepped out of my parallel stance where my feet are usually around the handle, and I've dropped my right foot a little bit further back on the deck. As you'll see, I'll take a few strokes here, a stroke or two there, and then it's another step back, usually, sometimes even with an additional wiggle back after this to get my weight in the back of the board. And so pretty sure, yeah, this is my kind of follow through stroke. As the wave is approaching, I'm sweeping back a little bit further with this stroke. And as you can see, all my weight's really on my back foot. The toes are actually up on my front foot because really it's just there for a point of balance. But ideally all the weight's on this foot here over the tail to sink the tail and lift the nose up and over that white water wave. From here, you'll have to work on getting your timing dialed in where you shift your weight to the back like it is right now. You can kind of see me sweeping through, and then as that wave starts to contact the board, you can see right here's the handle of the board. White water's already rolling through the halfway point of the board, and at that point you have to shift your weight forward, which you'll see right now. And you'll do that kind of in two ways. You'll shift your weight forward onto your front foot, kind of in like a really exaggerated lunge, At the same time, you're going to want to take your paddle and reach up and over that wave to kind of pull you up and over that wave and traject you forward out through the surf. So watch for that transition. Now all my weight's coming forward. You can see knee is coming, or chest is going up into the knee. Paddle is reaching up and over the whitewater wave, and that's gonna essentially, it's like rock climbing. You're reaching up and over with your arms, and those are gonna kind of propel you up and over the wave. And not only is that gonna give you forward momentum, it's also gonna give you stability. You've got your paddle in the water, so now you've got a contact with that surface, and so now you've doing the best you can, everything in your favor to get up and over that wave efficiently and effectively. So from here, then it's a transition back up into your normal parallel stance up by the handle. Similar to a buoy turn, how you transition back up to the front into your normal paddling stance. Here's another clip. Kind of timed it a little late going over this wave, so you'll see the nose of my board doesn't clear this whitewater clean. It kind of pierces through. Luckily with this particular race board, the nose is really forgiving, so it can handle a little bit of water over the top, but ideally you want to give yourself more time to get to the back of your board so that you can get that board nice and clean up and over that wave, and that will typically result in you maintaining a faster speed over that wave. Whereas when you got to go through the surf, it's gonna kind of stunt your forward momentum. So I like to show this clip right here because it wasn't a perfect example of me going cleanly back to the tail, but I did do a pretty good job transitioning up and over that wave. So it wasn't too bad of an effort. Thankfully I got right into that next stroke and then into the surf stance. So there you have it. Those are, to me, the big basics, those three. Step one, going nose first into the wave with the paddle on the strong side, transitioning into your surf stance to sink the tail, and then back up to the front using your paddle to get you up and over. So there you guys have it. Hope you find these tips helpful. Let me know if there's things you liked, didn't work for you, or other tips and technique that you found more helpful than this. Maybe you can share it with me. Maybe I'll pass it on to others. And yeah, just hope we all get to see each other soon in the water. Take care, guys. Aloha.